Hi, welcome back to my part of the internet. How are you doing? I'm pretty good. I found a list on my phone, so I've been doing these fucking how many things I've learned at this age lists for like ever. This one YouTuber that I've been following forever, Alexis Giselle, does them on her birthday. And whenever she started them years ago, I was like, what a cute idea. I'm gonna do that too. Anyways, I've been looking through some of my old lists, and I found one that was slightly different, but same vibe. It was 14 things I learned in 2014. Now, 2014, 10 years ago, is the year I graduated high school, is also the year I moved out of my hometown for the first time. Moved to Van City, where I have resided most of my life thus far. Yeah, most of my adult life. I guess I've now lived there longer than I lived in my hometown, which is not technically my hometown. Technically, I was born somewhere else and I moved to my hometown, well, what I call my hometown, when I was 6. So I technically lived away from there longer than I lived there, which is pretty crazy. Makes me feel old, but what are you gonna do? So I thought we'd go through the list and also talk about what the fuck happened in the last 10 years. Because it's kind of a lot. I think it's important sometimes. I do this when I journal. This is not going to be that deep. I'm just going to kind of touch on a couple things. But something that I think is important to do, at least for me, if you have the same issue that I do, where I like oftentimes will freak out and be like, I've never done anything with my life ever. What a loser. Is to just make a list of all the things you've done in a certain amount of time. It can be in the last year, it can be in the last 10 years, whatever. And I'm talking like little things, like be like, I hung out with my friends. I went for lots of walks. And just like write down, and then it can have big things too, but like it just kind of makes me feel better. Maybe that's silly goofy, but it kind of makes me feel better to have like a tangible list. Anyways, that's not what today is. I'm going to tell you a few things that I've been up to in those years, but really, we're going to go through the 14 things that I learned in 2014 and just see what I thought I knew 10 years ago. Anyways, so 10 years ago, here's what happened. I graduated high school, I moved to Vancouver, I went to school, kinda. I went to like a 1-year program. Whatever. And then I left Vancouver and went back to my hometown. And then I went back to Vancouver. And then I moved to Liverpool. And then I went back to my hometown. And then I moved to New York. And then I moved back to Vancouver. And I was a server. And I was a bartender. I dabbled in some modeling photography. Dabbled, like, lightly. I self-published 2 books, my poetry book and my cocktail book. I had my first ever apartment on my own. I lived in the last 10 years I've lived in about 13 apartments, I think, but I had my first one on my own. Like, I did technically live by myself before, but I was like subletting from a friend. My last apartment was the first one that was all me, baby. Moved in with the love of my life, and then we moved to Ireland. So that's kind of a brief overview. And I will say I'm proud because I was looking through my journals from like high school, and all I wrote about was how I wanted to live a bunch of places. I was like, I want to live for a year here, and then a year there, and then I want to boo. And let me tell you, it doesn't look anything like I expected it to, but I'm doing the damn thing, so 16-year-old me would be fucking thrilled with our life, which is a fun feeling. Again, it's not anything like I expected. It is definitely not glamorous, but I've been doing it. I've been moving, I've been trying out different places. Here we are. I didn't necessarily stay for a year in each of those places, but what are you gonna do? I say that I lived in Vancouver for the last like decade, but really I left. But I only ever left for like 5 months at a time, so I still feel like I lived there the bulk of it, you know what I mean? Anyways, let's talk about this list. 14 things I learned in 2014. Number 1, as much as I like to think it is, sleep is not optional. I could not relate to that less. I love to sleep. I do not find it optional, even kind of. Like, I'm glad that I knew that I needed to sleep, but I know I wasn't sleeping. Now, I am a sleepy girl. Girls need 10 to 12 hours of sleep, okay? And I'm doing it. I am not a nice lady if I don't get enough sleep. Number 2, when life gets crazy busy and you find the time to eat breakfast in bed, you take it. That's very fucking cute. I don't love to eat in bed. I used to. I don't love it anymore. I love to eat on the couch. I don't love to eat in bed. Just because I feel like crumbs and like it's never as comfortable as you want it to be. I do love to have coffee in bed. That is like elite. Coffee in bed. Fantastic. Kind of back on the caffeine. And by back I mean I've tested it out the last 2 days and I haven't lost my mind, so. Anyways. Number 3, embrace chaos. No, don't do that. I disagree wholeheartedly. I do not want to do that. No. Like, I think embrace fun, embrace spontaneity, embrace adventure. Chaos? I don't know her. I don't want to know her. Get away from me. No. Number 4, good friends are key to pretty much everything. True. And I have the best friends. I have a small group of elite ladies that I will love for the rest of my life. I would die for them. They are the people. You know who you are. You are my people. I love you. I would die for you. I would die without you. You're the real ones. Anyways. Number 5, photograph everything always. Okay, I stand by this, and for not... Okay. Recently I've been obsessed with looking at my Snapchat memories. You know when you, like, open Snap, and there's the little, like, red dot in the corner by your photos, and it'll just show you, like, a year ago today, here you were. Or here's some random memories, whatever. Oh my god, I eat that shit up. I'm checking for them daily. I love Snapchat. Snapchat's arguably one of my favorite social medias because me and my friends just send each other mini vlogs. And I love it. I love Snapchat. And the fucking memories are elite. Because the photos you take on Snapchat aren't necessarily the ones that you're like taking. Like, they're a different vibe, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's a more personal look back on what I was up to, aside from the fact that they all have the devil filter on them. Because it's just so cute. What are you gonna do? Anyways. Number 6, take time to think about how fortunate you are. That is true, and I don't think that I was doing that back then. But I try to do it now. Try to always think about where you are and think about the fact that you are probably somewhere that you once wanted to be. And how lucky are you to be there? Even when things are hard, you gotta still be like, damn. You know? Like, things can be hard. We're in a hard era of life all the time. Things are always kind of hard, right? But you have to remember to be like, oh, but like, I'm living in Ireland and I can go on all these beautiful walks and I'm surrounded by lovely people and a really cute dog and things are good. You know what I mean? You gotta remember that. Things can be hard, but things can also be good. Both can be true at once. Number 7, always have a good supply of peanut butter. Yes, but for different reasons. I stand by this. We buy like this big bucket of peanut butter because we like to make peanut noodles. I used to say that because I used to be obsessed with eating rice crackers with peanut butter and grape jelly, and I would eat like 45 of them a day. Rice crackers, rice cakes. And I would eat them obsessively. I think that was in this time frame, but I could be wrong. But now we mostly have a giant bucket of it because I use so fucking much of it when I make peanut sauce for peanut noodles. And Jamie likes to put it in smoothies. So, like, still true, but also I don't know if that's, like, a life lesson that I learned. You know what I mean? Anyways, I feel like in this era, I was really trying to be like, I'm so deep, but I'm also silly goofy. I'm just a silly goofy girl. And, like, I guess that's still kind of true, but, like, I feel like I was more obnoxious about it back then. You know what I mean? Anyways, Number 8, it doesn't matter how many people want you to fail because as it turns out, it's not up to them. Who were these haters that I thought I had? I really, I feel like, especially at that age, man, 18, 19, we really are the main characters, aren't we? Like, I really thought that everyone gave a shit about what I was up to. No one did. I don't think no one does now. No one did then. I don't have haters waiting for me to fail. Who do I think I am? Who did I think I was? I have no, who did I think was out there being like, that bitch, I want her to fucking collapse. Like, maybe I do. Maybe I'm delusional. Maybe we all have haters, but I really don't think we do. Let's all relax. Like, no one's thinking about us as much as we think they are. Anyways. Number 9. Crying is important, whether it's happy tears or sad tears. Always allow yourself to cry. True. I've not been able to stifle a tear in years, so yeah, like, cry it out, girly pop. You tell she was going to acting school? She was like, oh my god, let your emotions out. Like, yeah, but whatever. Number 10, FaceTime is a beautiful thing. Yeah, that's true, especially now that I live abroad. I live far away from most of my people. So yeah, I'm really bad with FaceTiming. Like, I FaceTime my family, but me and my friends just send Snapchat vlogs because we're all very busy, and then we're on opposite time zones. It's very hard. It's very hard to schedule a FaceTime. Sometimes we do them, but like, it's rare, okay? But when we have them, oh, they're spicy. But that's what Snapchat is for. We're in constant communication, just not at the same time. You know what I mean? Time zones are fucking wild. Listen, I'm 7 to 8 hours ahead of most of my people, and that's my own fault. So I have to live with the consequences. But I do FaceTime my family, and that's nice. I get to look at my doggies. Always important. This is such a stupid list. It's not, like, good for me, but whatever. Number 11, there is nothing more calming than the ocean. I do stand by that. Like, listen, the whole time I lived in Vancouver, I'm a walker. I want to go for a wander. I want to wander around. If I want to go to a coffee shop, I'm going to walk there no matter how far it is. I'm going to walk for 2 hours because I want to try this new coffee shop. I'm all about it. But anytime I was going for a random wander, I would always end up at the beach. And you know, I like the beach the best in the winter because I'm like so quirky. No, because there's less people there, and the sand is kind of hard, so it's easier to walk on. You know what I mean? The ocean does calm me down. I do stand by that. I low key, like, this makes me sound like such a douchebag, but I feel like I get kind of claustrophobic when I'm not close to the ocean. I get a little panicky. Whatever. I like the ocean. I did then, I like it now. Very original thought. No one else has ever liked it before. I'm so unique. This one I don't, like, really know what the fuck I was talking about. But number 12, life mottos are important and ever changing. The fact that I said life motto and then ever changing just doesn't really make sense. Like, I guess, like, a quote or, like, words that are vibing with you in that moment, but, like, and what was my life motto? And what's my life motto now? You know what I mean? I'm just here. I'm just trying to have a good time. Maybe that's my life motto. I don't know. I don't think I had one. Whatever. Number 13, write it down. Painfully accurate, because I love to be like, oh, of course I'll remember that. That sounds so important, I'll remember. And then 20 minutes later, I'm like, what? What? I have so many random notes on my phone that are just like random thoughts or random sentences or random things that I want to ask people or things that I need to do or whatever. I will forget if it's not written down. I think this is why I like journaling so much, because I'm like, I think, you know, when you get like in the thought loop, this is for the anxiety girlies, you get me. You get like a thought loop and you're thinking about something and it's really freaking you out, and then I can't stop thinking about it because I'm scared I'm gonna forget that I'm panicking about it, so I have to write it down so I can remember to panic about it again. You know what I mean? It's like I have to keep thinking about it because otherwise I'll forget. But I don't. Anxiety never goes away. We never stop thinking. But like, this is why I like journaling. So I like to put the thoughts down, and then in theory I can leave them somewhere, and then I can come pick them back up later if I feel like it's still important to discuss. Anyways, number 14, the last thing that I thought I knew 10 years ago in 2014. The most important things are happening right now, so live there. Yeah, babe. I wasn't doing that then, I'm not doing that now. I am the worst. This is something I've been actively working on in the last like 6 months, I'm so bad at living in the moment. I'm a planner. I'm always thinking 5 years ahead. I'm always like, okay, but when this is happening, then this is gonna happen. And I am really bad at being where I am. Like, it's probably my worst trait, TBH. I hate it. So I don't know that I knew that. Like, I know it logically, but I don't think I've known it in my body ever. So I don't know where I got off saying that. But to be fair, a lot of the things are things that I know logically in these lists that I don't necessarily know emotionally. Anyways, it's been a wild 10 years. A lot happens in 10 years. A lot changes in 10 years. But you know, a lot of major world events, quarantine and all that jazz. I've had COVID like 7 times. Not because I was bad at quarantining, but because I was a bartender. What are you gonna do? The germs be German. Um, it's crazy. To be honest, it's crazy that 2014 was only 10 years ago. It feels like another lifetime. And like 18-year-old me versus 28-year-old me is just so different, but also so the same. A lot of my personality and a lot of my things have stayed the same. A lot of my interests have stayed the same. But it's wild. Anyways, that's everything that I thought I knew 10 years ago. Thanks for watching. I'll see you somewhere else on the internet. Bye.